If you've ever dreamed of leaving a woman utterly breathless in the bedroom, desperate for your touch and unable to think of anyone else, then pay close attention. Too many men chase myths like physical endowment or endless endurance, convinced those are the keys to extraordinary intimacy. In reality, it's the subtle, learned skills that transform ordinary encounters into something profound and addictive. What I'm about to reveal is a straightforward, yet profoundly effective approach to oral pleasure, one that equips you to deliver waves of ecstasy she won't soon forget. Picture yourself as the partner who doesn't merely satisfy but elevates the experience to a level of intensity that echoes in her mind long after. This isn't some flashy stunt or fleeting fad. It's a structured process designed to layer sensation upon sensation, leaving her quivering and yearning for more. As Dr. Sarah Lipton, a specialist in men's sexual wellness, my goal is straightforward: to equip you with unfiltered insights into female desire, the kind we rarely voice in casual conversation but crave deeply behind closed doors. Week after week, I unpack practical tactics that foster deeper bonds, capture genuine interest, and provide fulfillment beyond what most partners offer. Stick around for these revelations and consider subscribing to ensure you catch everyone. Before diving into the core method, let's address a foundational element: sexual assurance. Skill matters, but without poise, it falls flat. A woman intuitively detects doubt or restraint, and that can dim even the most promising moment. True magnetism in the sheet stems from a blend of real-world practice and targeted knowledge. If past inexperience has left you second-guessing, take heart. Mastery doesn't require a string of conquests. It arises from absorbing proven wisdom that shortcuts the trial-and-error phase. Now, on to the heart of it. A three-phase strategy for oral intimacy that unlocks shattering climaxes. Even before your lips make contact, how you position yourselves sets the tone for peak responsiveness. Prioritize her ease above all. Slip a soft pillow beneath her lower back to elevate her hips slightly, angling her pelvis for better access and amplified feelings. Have her recline with legs parted generously, fostering not just practicality but a thrilling exposure that heightens her arousal. Your comfort counts equally, though. Avoid strain that could distract you. Kneel with padding under your knees or shift her form to let you lean in from an angle. Some prefer one on the mattress and the other perched nearby, like on the bed's edge. The point is flexibility. Test variations until it flows effortlessly. This isn't hurried acrobatics. It demands endurance and attentiveness. Once settled in mutual relaxation, the groundwork is laid for what follows. This is where impatience derails so many. Diving headlong into the most sensitive spots, assuming speed equals success, misses the mark entirely. Female arousal thrives on progression. Studies show it often requires 10 to 15 minutes of focused attention to crest. Your role here is to entice, not overwhelm. Craft a slow simmer that stirs her from the edges inward. Trail feather-light kisses and nips along the tender skin of her inner thighs, a zone brimming with untapped nerves. Each contact sparks curiosity, drawing out the tension of what's to come. As you inch toward her core, linger on the exterior folds, trace them with unhurried laps of your tongue, deliberate and savoring, as if exploring a delicacy meant to be relished. Employ the tongue's tip initially, sweeping upward in languid arcs that build intrigue without resolution. After a brief interval, deepen the engagement by flattening your tongue for broader, firmer glides, orbiting nearer to the clitoris yet skirting direct contact. Observe her cues, quickened breaths, subtle hip shifts, a flush creeping across her skin. These affirm you're attuned. When the moment arrives to engage the clitoris proper, embrace subtlety. Initiate with delicate, repeating flicks. Rhythm reigns supreme, allowing her to surrender to the pattern. Introduce variety sparingly, alternate between laps and soft suction, easing transitions to maintain momentum. Hold the tempo constant, letting sensations accumulate like gathering storm clouds. This interlude of measured advance is crucial. The longer you cultivate without peaking, the more cataclysmic the release becomes. This is the alchemical touch that distinguishes the proficient from the proficient, the art of propulsion and retreat. Rather than barreling toward culmination at the first hint of her nearing the brink, which yields a solid but subdued peak, you orchestrate a dance of near misses that amplify everything. Spot the harbingers, escalating vocalizations, tensing in her thighs or abdomen, fists clenching fabric, eyes fluttering shut in abandon. At that threshold, withdraw. Not abruptly, but with intent. Redirect to peripheral caresses, nuzzle her thighs anew, murmur affirmations of her allure or flavor, or roam your hands across her form in soothing strokes. A mere 20 to 30 seconds suffices to reset, igniting a fiercer craving. Re-engage seamlessly, mirroring the prior cadence and fervor. With each cycle, approach, teeter, recede, her sensitivity compounds exponentially. The initial ascent might span 10 minutes. The next halves that span. The one after, even briefer. You're stacking layers of desire, forging an inexorable climb. Persist until her pleas turn fervent, her frame shudders beyond restraint. That's your cue to hold firm, sustaining the unyielding rhythm through her unraveling. In that crescendo, you grant not just bodily release, but a profound fusion of senses, forging a tether that redefines your dynamic. Thus concludes the triad: alignment for access, escalation for ignition, and edging for eruption. Seemingly elemental on paper, yet wielded with precision, it elevates prelude to pinnacle, rendering her spent, exalted, and irrevocably drawn. Beyond the mechanics, this framework weaves physical delight with psychological depth. It's the prelude to trust, the spark of vulnerability met with reverence. You transcend the role of companion to architect of ecstasy, the one who deciphers her unspoken rhythms and honors them with deliberation. And the true revelation? Excellence here owes nothing to chance or inheritance. It's forged in awareness, rehearsal, and self-possession. Every deliberate graze, every strategic intermission, every attuned pause heightens her expectancy, and that expectancy is the engine of transcendent peaks. Patience begets potency, intention invites immersion. Contrast this with the haste that plagues so many, blind to the potency of deferral, unaware that a well-timed halt can redouble the force of surrender. Armed with this blueprint, you eclipse the commonplace, crafting fulfillment that resonates enduringly. Envision the shift, her not just sated in the instant, but haunted by the echo, her longing sharpening with each recollection. Apply it with fidelity and witness the ripple, heightened enjoyment bleeding into amplified affection, her gaze lingering with newfound hunger, intimacy evolving into an exclusive realm you alone unlock. This mastery doesn't merely refine your prowess, it cements your indelibility. She'll pursue the reprise, voice gratitudes in hushed tones, and harbor an ache that pulls her back inexorably. Harness this progression, heed her silent symphony, and navigate with a purpose. In doing so, you don't just partake in passion, you orchestrate it, leaving an imprint that time polishes but never erases. To deepen this, reflect on the broader canvas. Intimacy, at its zenith, mirrors a shared odyssey. Uncharted yet guided, turbulent yet tender. Your command of these phases, positioning as the anchor, build up as the voyage, start-stop as the summit, equips you to navigate with grace. It's in the quiet observation, the responsive adaptation, that true synergy blooms. Her form becomes a map you read fluently, the arch of a back signaling surge, the hitch of breath urging advance, the quiver foretelling the precipice. And in reciprocity, you'll find your own reservoirs stirred, confidence blooming not as bravado but as quiet certainty, born of her uninhibited response. This exchange, mutual and magnifying, transcends the solitary pursuit of skill. It cultivates a lexicon of touch unique to you both, one that evolves with each encounter. Consider the science beneath. Arousal's architecture favors crescendo over crash, dopamine's slow drip yielding floods of oxytocin in reward. By honoring this physiology, teasing neural pathways, sustaining vascular flush, you don't merely stimulate, you symphonize. The pillow's tilt optimizes blood flow, sensitizing clusters of endings. The thigh's prelude recruits adjacent erogenous fields, priming the central nexus. The edging's pause resets refractory flickers, stacking neurochemical crests until overload. Yet, this isn't clinical recitation, it's invitation to artistry. Infuse personality, a hummed vibration against her skin, fingers interlacing hers mid-build, eyes locking in that electric pause. These flourishes personalize the template, weaving your essence into her reverie, and post-climax linger in afterglow, traces of lips on quaking limbs, words affirming the shared soar, cementing the bond beyond the blaze. In essence, this method demystifies the arcane, democratizing delight. No longer gated by myth or mishap, pleasure becomes accessible craft. Embrace it, and you'll not only elicit her pinnacle, but invite yours in tandem, a harmonious helix where giver and receiver entwine. She'll sense the shift, from routine to ritual, from adequate to alchemical. And in that alchemy, you'll discover not just her devotion renewed, but your own horizons expanded, intimacy's infinite layers unfolding one deliberate breath at a time. So step forward with this compass, position with care, escalate with art, edge with mastery. The bedroom awaits not as arena but atelier, where every motion sculpts memory. Yours is the power to render the ephemeral eternal, the fleeting fervent. Wield it and watch desire not flicker but blaze.